Hello YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and welcome back to the Outsiders channel, and in today's video about Advanced Civilization, because that's what we're doing this week, focusing on this wonderful game, we're going to look at how you pick a country. Now it may sound very simple, there is a method in the book that's given, but it's a method that I don't like, but it's important to give that method and explain the reasons why. Now in the Advanced Civilization you can see there are 9 countries. Each of these countries have inherent advantages and disadvantages. And some of the countries are a lot easier to play, much more player friendly if you will, than others. But when you're a new player, that's definitely not obvious. And no amount of advice is really going to guide you. So the picking method is very, very important, because if you're a new player and you end up picking last, you're going to be left with countries that are likely to have quite a serious setback. And you've got to understand how to manage that. And I found that very unfair. So developed a method that works very well. So let's talk through the traditional method. It's very easy really. It's a bit like looking at the NFL draft. Basically, if you're playing say 7 players, then there is a card 1 through to 7. They're randomly assigned or drawn out of a hat. So if you're picking number 1, you get the pick of all the countries. You choose which country you want to play. If you're picking 2, so on and so forth. Now obviously there's a strategy to this, because say for example somebody is picking first and they take Africa. Because of their position on the board, you know that if you pick Egypt, you're going to be next to them. And if you get on well with that person, you can immediately draw some lines down in the sand. Gives you a definite strategic advantage over other players who may struggle with this type of negotiation. And I kind of feel it doesn't really do anything except favour good players. So to combat that, because as I say, it doesn't give really an advantage to the new players, the way we did it, which worked very well, was basically it's all about experience. The player with the most amount of experience goes last. So even if we say there was a 7-player game and I'm one of the most experienced players around the board and I'm picking last, I'm still going to get to choose from 3 countries. We found this method works very well, and it definitely ties hand in hand in what I've said previously, which is I think this game, although you can play it between 2 to 8 players, I think it works best when you're playing it with about 6 or 7 players. Now the goal of civilization is to make a civilized country, but I think it's important to actually give a little overview / introduction on that. This is how I would describe civilization. It's a game for 2 to 8 players, which covers the development of ancient civilizations from the invention of agriculture to the emergence of Rome itself as the dominant Mediterranean power. It's a span of almost 8,000 years. Each player leads a nation of people over a mapboard of the Mediterranean and Near East as they attempt to carve a niche for themselves and their culture. Although battles and territorial strategy are important, Advanced Civilization is not a war game, because it is not won by battle or conquest. Instead, the object of play is to gain a level of overall advantage involving cultural, economic, political and religious factors. Conflicts which do arise result from rivalries and shortage of land rather than attempts to eliminate other players. Nomads, farmers, warriors, merchants, artisans, priests and citizens all have an essential part to play in the development of each nation's civilization. The player who most effectively balances these various outlooks will achieve the best balance and will win the game. And that is definitely the way to look at how civilization works best. Now in follow-up videos, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this game in more depth by following how the turn works. That will also then show how the various charts work, how the cards work, how trading works within this game. But what I hope this will do is it will whet your appetite to look a little bit deeper. Anyway, I've been Sean Connors. This has been the Outsiders channel, looking at how to pick your country in Advanced Civilization, and I hope you like our alternative method. Anyway, as always, leave a comment and please let me know if you're enjoying the series. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again in the next video this week. Bye bye.